Hi, my name is Shane. I am the person tied to this Cup Night channel that I started a while ago, earlier this year. Kind of gave up on it for a bit because I moved. I moved from the state that I lived in my entire life to a new one, almost on the complete opposite side of the country. So things have been crazy, but yeah, this is the channel revival message, and it is one that I have felt called to share, which sounds weird, but it's true. I have changed a lot in, I don't know, the past 6 months, maybe longer. I'm not really sure exactly when it started happening. Maybe even before that. But things have really started heating up lately. And yeah, the signs, the messages, the dreams, the feelings, the intuitions, they've all been getting stronger, and they've all been kind of leading me towards where I am now, I think. And right now I'm literally just sitting on a bedroom floor with some cards, some tarot cards in front of me, right next to bed. This little shy cowboy right here currently is staying in my boyfriend's grandma's house. I feel very connected with this figure here, though. That definitely represents me in a lot of ways for a long time. But feel that I'm turning around, showing my face, and that's kind of what this video is tied to as well. Because yeah, I didn't want to, did not want to share my face on this channel. Didn't want people to know my name or anything, but Spirit said no. They will know your name, and they will know your face, and you will have things to say. Yeah. For a long time I kind of felt like, I'm just another white guy in the United States. What could I possibly have to say? What hasn't already been said by every other person just like me, when there are, so many other minority groups out there who are, suffering so much and have so much to say and hardly ever, get a chance to say it and be heard. So my kind of thought was, what could I possibly have to say? I just need to shut up and, let the people who are really suffering be heard. But turns out that's not the case. That is not the case at all. And it had a lot more to do with my own self-confidence and my belief in myself than anything else. Than anything else going on in the world right now. And so this message is straight from the heart, and it's been cooking for a while now. And I'm honestly, it's terrifying to kind of to post something like this, because it's very vulnerable. Yeah, it's you know, basically showing my cards. I've always wanted to keep my cards close to my chest, and keep my intentions, my motivations secret, and not ever really let anybody know exactly what I'm about, because when you do that, you open yourself up to all kinds of ridicule and attacks. And I think no matter how much we grow, or how mature we become in our life, it always hurts when people attack you. It's just part of it. It's part of the attack, right? And um, but there are lessons there, yeah, for both parties on the giving and the receiving end. There always is. It's always a two-way street. So, yeah, I have pulled some. I have selected, not pulled. I specifically selected these tarot cards to kind of help me get my message out today. These are the ones that I feel have been most prevalent in my life for a while now. So the first one we're going to start with is the Moon. This card is so cool. The artwork is, I love it so much. The symbolism is very intense. Yeah, so here, let me get a little more comfortable. So the Moon. The moon absorbs the light of the sun and transforms it and reflects it. It like physically changes the property of the light that it absorbs from the sun and reflects it back out into the world. And the moon goes through cycles. It goes, it goes dark and then it fully illuminates again. And the same face of the moon, it is always the same face facing the earth. When you look up at the moon, you're always seeing the same face of the moon. It doesn't rotate. It is just locked to always, stay in the same position, orbiting around the earth. The moon is so mysterious and I love it. It is a very powerful symbol. I feel it is deeply connected to whales. And the people that know me know that I love whales. I always have. And it's about going deep. It's about self-reflection. It's about the depths, the dark, scary forest, and fear and doubt. Yeah, and my God, fear is it's maybe the strongest opponent in my life, maybe in a lot of people's lives. Yeah, so overcoming fear. That is also what this video is about. This is the beginning of me diving into my heart, pulling out messages, and giving them to the world. Something I could never do. I play a couple different instruments, and I've always been too afraid to play with others. The few times I've tried, it's never really worked out. I just, I never really felt everybody was on the same page, and I never really could get my messages clear that I was feeling. It was always foggy, and I never really understood exactly what I was trying to say. But I've done a lot of internal work, and I feel like that has changed now. I feel that I finally understand myself, at least to a larger degree, maybe not completely. And I feel that, now the messages are pretty clear. I understand them. And now that I understand them, I feel very confident in sharing them with others. So, in that regard, I highly relate to the moon. I feel like I have absorbed a lot, as we all do, in my life. And it took me a long time to take that energy that I had absorbed and like process it, and now I finally am at that cycle in my life where I feel I can like shine it back and shine it back at people. And in that regard, I feel spam call, distractions. I I feel that the Sun card is appropriate here. The eternal child, freedom, self expression, um, yeah, just living life, being open, not caring what anyone else thinks, just expressing. Yeah, this is the energy I am trying to tap into as of late. And this requires a degree of fearlessness, being like a child. You know, trusting that, and I've got the full card out here too. Trusting, faith, having faith that, by putting yourself out there with arms wide open, under the sunlight. Shout out to Scott Stapp. Yeah, just going for it. Having trust that, maybe things are not going to go the way that you expect them to, but they will work out. Maybe even in better ways that you never would have dreamed of. And I can definitely testify to that in my current phase of life, that is exactly what is happening for me. I feel like every day now that I'm paying attention to the signs and the symbols all around me, it's constantly blowing my mind and opening my heart. Yeah. Yep. It's funny, you take a look inside deeply and you're honest, brutally honest with yourself. And you allow yourself to experience the darkness within, and it, eventually it turns into light. Yeah, going back to those moon cycles, right? The moon goes through periods of darkness and then periods of lightness. Even the sun, the ancient Egyptian mythology talks about the sun going into the underworld, the period of time where it dips below the horizon, night, and then it comes back up. And it constantly goes through this cycle of darkness and lightness. And I really do believe that that is how we grow, powerfully, is you're going to have periods of intense darkness going very deep, but then you're going to start coming back up. And when you come back up, you're going to have a lot to share. You're going to have a lot of light to shine on the world. But you have to do it. You have to know what it is that you have to share. So you have to reflect on everything that you went through in that darkness, really understand it, process it, and then turn it into something. Even if it's just you talking to a camera. I mean, everybody, just about everybody, has access to a phone with a camera these days, so maybe that's it. Or maybe you draw, or maybe you make food for people. Maybe you do acts of service. You help people move or clean up their house or their yard, or even you just hang out with people. I don't know. Some people, they just being around them is life-changing, So yeah, we're all unique. We're all unique expressions of consciousness. And figuring out your unique expression and how to do it is difficult. It's very difficult. I'm not even sure that this journey is the one, maybe it's just a part of it, or, I don't know how long this is going to last, but I'm just doing it. I'm just trying it. I'm just going to see what happens. I'm going to move forward. So the Chariot, this card, very powerful, number 7. Number 7 is very important to me in my life. It shows up for me all the time. I was born in July. Yeah, the 7th month. So you can see here, he's got this like shining square heart space. And yeah, so this card is really about like being guided by your heart and listening to your heart above all else, and listening to the inner you, the deep within. But to do that, to be able to hear yourself, you have to go inside. You have to go inside. For anyone who's seen or knows about Candle Cove, the creepypasta, yeah. If not, check it out if you like spooky stuff. But yeah, and that's the other thing. I love spooky stuff, mysterious stuff, and that has a lot to do with me identifying with the moon as well, I believe. But you know, in Candle Cove, there's this cave. It's a dark, scary cave, and there's these characters on a boat. And inside the cave, there's a character that, I don't know. He like strips. I can't remember what they call him. This is not that important. Go check it out. It's fun if you like spooky stuff. But anyway, there's a message there. It's like, it's a creepypasta. You know, you think like, oh, they just made this to like be spooky and mess with people, but no, I mean, I really do believe that everything, you know, even the things that don't take themselves so seriously have messages, have deep messages, you know. The things that come out of us, they don't just like, they're part of us. They're part of all of us, the human collective, you know. We have this shared field of archetypal energies that express themselves through us. Carl Jung, you know, read about him, read about his ideas. They're very powerful. And they're fun. At least to me. I just love this kind of stuff. And once again, moon, you know, me and the moon, we are tight. Yeah. I think the last thing I want to talk about is just going back to fear, death, you know, the ultimate fear. You know, what happens when we die? Does anything happen? What's next? You know, everyone has their own take on that. My personal beliefs on this now are that we are eternal. Yeah, we're all connected. We're all eternal. We all come from the same source. We all return to the same source. And this life is an experience of overcoming obstacles. It's like, it's all about growth, just like a plant, you know. My shirt. Shout out to my boyfriend for getting me this shirt. It says Plant Daddy. Love my house plants. Yeah, like plants, you know, you start with a seed buried deep in the underworld, in the ground, in the dark depths, and they have to break through their hard shell in order to reach toward the light. And, you know, they just intuitively know where to go. They grow towards the light, and eventually they break ground and they reach the air, and, you know, above. Some plants grow underwater even. Yeah, it's a very powerful metaphor, and that, you know, is very applicable to the human experience. Growth is challenging, and you have to challenge yourself in order to grow. When you stop challenging yourself and, you know, having faith that things will work out, embracing your failures, you know, the fool, like, people may see you as foolish and like you don't know what you're doing, or whatever. They may not have faith in you, but as long as you have faith in yourself and you connect with that inner child, you know, the most joyful, passionate, free part of yourself, you're going to be fine. You know, and that's a huge lesson I've learned. And, you know, it's a cliche thing, like, don't take life so seriously. You hear it from all over the place, but it's so true. You can't take life so seriously. We're all gonna die. Eventually. You may as well have a good time. You may as well find meaning and happiness while you're alive, you know? Don't just be in survival mode. I mean, obviously, we have that drive to keep ourselves alive, but yeah, don't get so caught up in that though. Like, it's not all there is. Easier said than done, I know, trust me. Yeah, I tried to go the intellectual route, and I did software engineering for a while, and it was fun. I loved it, but it was not it for me. It wasn't it. Didn't it didn't fill me up inside my heart. This does. Sharing the most vulnerable parts of me does. But it's hard and it's scary. So, if you're still here, thank you for hearing me out. I hope I was able to reach you. Um, this channel, I don't know. I still don't know what it's gonna be, but I had to put this message out there to start the revival of it. So I can't tell you what to expect. I'm gonna make videos and music. I'm gonna make my own music for the videos, and the videos are going to just be intuitively guided. They're going to be works of art, different images, and I really don't know how I can see it, here, but I can't explain it with words. So yeah, keep an eye out. I'll be posting some stuff, whatever I feel guided to make. Thank you for hearing me out, and I hope that wherever you are currently in your life, that you can find some inspiration from this message, and I hope that you're able to overcome those fears. Be the fool. Who cares? Be the fool. Just do it. It's fun. All right. Take care of yourselves.